And of course, there's something else. There's two other big things. Two other big things this month. Elden Ring is is one of them. And also this thing. Specially security equipped Exoframe. Specially security equipped Exoframe Cerebus Security Service version. SSEEX Cerebus Security Service version. Affiliation Cerebus Security Services. I would like to finish this month, but I'm not really sure if I can do such things. I don't know. Is that within my ability? I don't know. But I think that's what we're going to do today for the rest of the stream, is work on this one. So let's see if we can do that. Let's see if we can get this baby going. And we need to clean up our area. We need to clean up a bit. So let's do that. Let's try and, because we've got all this paint set up. So let's just take a little moment here to clean up. We can commence working on this model, the return to building plastic model kits. Although, you know, Warhammer, painting Warhammer stuff and building Warhammer, that's all like model kits as well. Different, of course, than building Japanese design model kits. Time for the security service mech. Time for especially security equipped service, blah, blah, blah. So, yeah, just get my tools. Look at this. Look at this baby here. A far cry from God Hand. This is just schmuck hand. Got that. Got some clippers there. I might get... I'll probably end up getting better clippers at some point, but I don't think I'll be buying God Hand anytime soon. And we have this box cutter. Gonna use that. And I have... I have sanding stuff as well, but I don't know where that stuff is. I don't know where I have that at the moment. Sanding tools, definitely not like six different grades of grit, but I have a couple of them. So it's just, again, I'm still cleaning up. Pardon me, pardon me, pardon me. Let's get a drink of water here. I'm not expecting to finish this in one sitting. It is a small model, much smaller than even an HG, and it is only 3 frames. But at the same time, I'm not super familiar with building models anymore. It's been so long. So yeah, I'm expecting to just take my time with it. Better to go slow and do a decent job than to rush it and do a crappy job. Okay, let's see here. This water slide. Don't really need that right now. What's all this? X and then 1. Is this cutting board aligned? Make sure it's aligned. Okay, they're telling to cut like just slightly away. Let's see. What is it saying here exactly? Well, I don't need to know exactly, but what is this? I'm not sure what they're trying to say here. I mean, hopefully this will be obvious once I start building it, but yeah, hopefully none of that stuff was super important. Okay, so X, we need X. Okay, this is it right here. Now, let's cut this baby open. Whoa, look, it's bagged air from Japan. Let's smell this real quick. Oh, wow, it's like I'm there. Yeah, this is made in Japan, right? Yeah. It's not made in China or anything like that. Smell that bagged air. Alright, so first step. X34. And this is building the generic female pilot right here. These are all the parts you need for that. So let's do it. This is my first cut. Try and get this on stream. And I'm not trying to get too close to the model, of course. There you go. There you go. That was X34. We need 36 and 35. Those are the arms and the legs. So pretty straightforward so far. I'm cutting it this way because I kind of want to get it on camera, but I'm not really getting a good angle of things. So let's try and do it properly. There you go. I'm thinking about using the female pilot, even though that's the generic model. I could paint both, and maybe we'll be able to swap them out. Like, yeah, I feel like we'll be able to swap them out, so we don't have to commit to one or the other. Let's see. And it does indicate that you need to glue this model. There isn't any, like, well, there might be some snap fit type parts as well, but yeah, you're definitely going to need to glue. And that's something that I might have to go out and get at some point, is some more glue. I'm not sure how I'm doing. It begins how I'm doing with glue at the moment. So I have to apologize if I'm doing things a little incorrectly according to proper Gunpla procedure. So there's a nub right there, and I'll leave a bit of the material, and we'll try and file it down. I'll have to take a moment to to find that stuff. I feel like I have some, but I'll have to find it. I was very close to just shaving it off, cutting it off with this. Okay, there we go. Let's take a look at our music situation here. Just give me a second, guys. Alright. Woo! That was a flyer. It's flying all over the place. Gonna have to hunt down all these nubs later. Okay. Now we're going to use this. Try and get a little closer. second here. Okay. Yeah, I definitely need to get like an exact. Oh shoot! You know what? I do have an X-Acto knife. Hold on. Let me see. I'm pretty sure I have an X-Acto knife somewhere. I should have got ready all my stuff, all the tools that I need, but I didn't think about that. Here you go. Here's this old box of X-Acto. And look at this. I have a couple of different X-Acto weapons here. I think this one will do, but let's take out this one as well. And I probably, it probably would be a good idea to buy new blades for this thing. That's probably the strat. What about this one? Okay, these are out of the question. Trying to be very careful. Trying to get as close to the body as possible with this, so that the filing, the sanding part won't take so long. Okay. Okay. Let's see here at the elbow. And again, I'm just trying to do this very slowly and carefully, just so that we can make sure it looks good. Okay. And yep, there's some extra material on the nut, on the connector part, and I think it's a good idea to make this a really good clean cut too, because the connector part, you don't want to have extra plastic where it shouldn't be. And in some cases, I might even go, I might shave it down more to make the fit tighter. But we'll do a test fit before we get onto that. Okay. Yeah, definitely need to get new blades for the X-Acto knife. This one's a little awkward here. So the plan is to paint this model and use a lot of weathering techniques and stuff like that to make it look nice and junky and worn and rusted. And I am planning on using a custom color scheme for this. I don't plan on using the one that's suggested on the box with the illustration, but I haven't got that far to determine like what kind of color scheme I'll use. I haven't really thought about that. I just know I want to use something different, something kind of like futuristic and retro looking, maybe involving teal and rust. So like we got that that aquamarine indigo teal kind of look, and then like orangey brown rust. I think that might look good. so it looks like this is a prime candidate for doing the rest with sanding. That part there, for sure. Look at all these nubs. Nub nub. The Ewoks love nubs. Let's see. I could also work on just assembling the figure if the parts aren't necessarily going to really butt into something else. We can just put it together and then kind of clean it up as a whole. And we'll have to make another pass and take a look at the miniature, the figure, before I paint it for sure. So, you know, don't have to get too caught up with all this. Fly! Again, we can sand that down, smooth that out. Her buttocks. So. Oh, you know what? Hold on, let me see something here. X37. Let's look further into the instructions. X37. Okay, so I was wondering about this. If you take a look at this instruction here, this is the unique pilot to this model kit. The other one that I'm working right now, the female kit, the female one is the generic one that like all obsolete model kits come with. But this one, I believe, is unique to this set. And I wanted to check really quick if her legs were going to be used for this guy's torso. And it doesn't seem like it. It seems like he has his own legs. So let's double check that. A6. It's A6 for his legs. And it's X37 for her legs. So yeah, it's not the same. Because then I'd have to make a decision, right? I'd have to make a decision as to what I would like to use. So just gonna connect like that. There's no like kind of like alignment peg, so gonna have to use a bit of eyeballing to ensure that it's gonna look good. And here are the arms. It seems like her back... Oh, okay, I understand. It seems like her arm, the detail... And they're saying to glue these parts, roger that. Yeah, they kind of snap fit just like that, but then they definitely need to be glued here into the torso, and then regardless of how well they fit, it looks like you're going to need to do some putty filling for the seam along the back here. Although you won't really see that part, and I think she gets glued into a chair. But nevertheless, I'll probably end up gluing the back here. As you can see, there's it's just like the gap there, right? We can fill that up. Maybe I have green stuff. That's something that's typically used for for Warhammer and building Citadel miniatures, is to fill up the gaps with green stuff. I have that, which I could use. It seems like in the hobby of Gunpla and Plamo, they use like liquid cement or something like that. Cement putty. Maybe I could try that too. Maybe I could buy some. I'm not sure. Not sure what I'll end up using. And like I said, I want to try sculpting myself, so maybe I'll buy something that I can use to sculpt with. I mean, I do have green stuff. That's what Citadel miniatures designers use, is green stuff. But our our batch of green stuff is quite old at this moment, and so it's kind of like it's just hard to work with and get a really smooth finish. Okay, this is our super glue. I think that they recommend using cement glue or plastic glue, but super glue will do fine as well, I think. It's just that this one, the lid has been stuck on, look. It's like stuck on. This is not... I have another one here, no, but that's... Okay. Okay, BRB. I gotta do something. Gotta get something. Alright, I'm back. Got some toothpicks, because we're gonna just get some glue onto a lid like this. Shit. Gonna make a mess also. Let me just clean this up real quick. There's ink in there. This is what happens when you've got a table, your painting table working space is, it's got paint, it's got knives, it's got plastic models, it's got all sorts of stuff going on. There you go. Okay, that could have been worse. Let's set this aside and make sure I don't mess around with that. And we'll get a new tin like this. Make sure it's clean. I frequently try and clean my cutting table because I don't want a super messy cutting table on stream. My first few streams painting miniatures, the table was definitely, the cutting board was definitely messy, filled with paint, splotches and stuff, but it was easy enough to clean up, and I think the stream looks a lot better when you have a clean setup. So just take a moment to clean things up. All the nubs too. Okay, so just gonna get a little bit of super glue like this. And I think this is a better method in some ways than just directly pouring it out from the nozzle, because you don't have much control that way. So I'll just get it on here. I actually do have a 2-part epoxy glue, but I don't think that's too necessary at the moment. And this goes just like this. There you go. Let's just push that in as nicely as we can. And let it wait, let it dry. Because one mistake that I've made in the past when working with glue and gluing things together is to really rush the process and just glue this together, and then it's like, okay, now the torso goes here, so let's glue that too, while this is still drying, and suddenly the arms pop off while you're doing this. It's just a big mess. So let's just let that dry. We can set this stage aside. And look at the next part. So, let's put these aside. Excuse me. This kit needs glue. Yeah, it's a big boy kit. No, I'm just kidding. But yeah, this not everything is snap fit. There are parts that are snap fit, but some of it will require glue. Indeed, indeed. Okay, so X33, X32, and X30. X33. Okay, X33, X32, and X30. Okay, I see, I see. I've seen that Games Workshop sell a plastic glue where the bottle has a very fine needle point, so it's very precise and very clean in terms of like getting the part that you need, to getting the glue on just the part that you need. So that might be something to look into. So this is X30 and X32. This is X32. Okay, we'll put X32 here, just as the same as it is on the thing. Uh-oh. Bacon, I made a huge mistake spraying my kit. I left my phone somewhere close and now the screen has a matte top coat. Your phone? Maybe you can put like rubbing alcohol. Like just kind of carefully put a layer of rubbing alcohol. Kind of scrub it off like that. Or maybe if you just handle it with like the oils of your hand for long enough, it'll come off. Oh yeah, it's your screen protector, so that's fine. Maybe it's cool. Maybe having a matte finish is cool. I don't know. Hey, Goro. How's it going, Goro? Goro in the house. Alright. I'm kind of interested in trying out the God Hand to see how amazing it is. I know Bacon was it's very effusive in his praise of the God Hand, and this is like a far cry from that. This is like a peasant hand or something. It's just your average. It's probably even like a below average nipper thing. It gets the job done though. But yeah, like if okay, let's put it this way. If I really feel like I wanna get a second model kit, and that's probably likely the case. Like I'm gonna end up getting a second model kit at some point. At that point, I'll probably go out and get some better tools as well. But for now, I'm just working with what I have. You know, I was thinking, gosh, I hope I don't finish this thing in one sitting. That's definitely not an issue. I'm definitely gonna take. It's gonna take a couple of sittings, I think. Especially if I go slow. Go slow and do it carefully. Bacon, I'm setting a new trend. Matte screen on phone. Goro, I will look for the God Hand when we go shopping. The search for the God Hand. The God Hand just saves some time. It doesn't necessarily make things look better. I get you. Yeah, I could probably do with something that's a little better than what I currently have. But I would probably go out and get some other tools that would be more useful, like maybe a couple of well, I don't know. I do have sanding sanding tools. I do have that, so that's not too big of an issue. What do I need? Maybe some better glue? Maybe some plastic glue? I'm not sure. Not sure what I should get. I watched a handful of Zaku Aurelius videos. I think they're good. I think they're informative about telling you about models and different kinds of models. He covers more than just Gunpla, which is really cool. He's done a couple of reviews for these models, and I saw some other things like a Metal Slug kit, like an official Metal Slug tank, which is pretty neat. And he has a video out today about like making like a bingo card for your hobby for 2022. Things like, oh, I painted a resin kit, I painted a tank, I painted an airplane, blah blah blah. And I think it's a pretty fun idea. I don't think that I'll really end up doing that just because I don't see myself buying that many model kits, and I don't really feel like, I feel like just getting the models that I want to get. I'm not that far into the hobby that I need something like that to keep me interested. But I also was thinking, okay, this guy actually is sponsored by a distributor, right? And so he kind of has a vested interest in like ensuring that you buy more bottles. So that kind of tainted the whole video for me because he's like, yeah, buy a resin kit, buy some anime girl models, buy like the robot girls, buy a tank, buy an airplane. But I was in the back of my mind, I'm like, hold on a second. This guy, he like is sponsored by or is somehow involved with a store. So yeah, he definitely would want you to buy all those things. Okay, so what do they want me to do with this step here? This is X30. It just sounds powerful. I must possess the God Hand. Once I have the God Hand, my ascension will begin. Okay. Let's see here. I believe this is X32. And it seems like it's gonna go like this. Or is it like this? Yeah, I think it's like this. Just do a dry fit, a test fit here. Make sure we're barking up the right tree. I think this is the deal. And yeah, so this is an example of a part that's going to snap fit. Okay. This also seems like a hinged part, so I have to keep in mind that if I'm planning on painting this model, I'll need to ensure that I don't add to the thickness of the hinged parts with paint, and that they need to stay bare plastic. Otherwise, they're not going to fit nicely. So let's see. This goes like this. And again, this is a model kit from goodsmilecompany. I mostly know them for making toys, making really nice model toys, not model kits. So this is an interesting experience, something a little different. We'll see how we like it. We'll see if they end up making a good product here that I can recommend. Okay, this looks good. And yeah, so there's a seam there that needs to be filled. But if it ends up getting covered in a kind of if it ends up getting covered, then it's not a big deal. So this is the range of motion. And I'm not even sure if this is a torso or something. Let's see. I think I might take another little break while I try and find my my file, because we can use a file for some of these parts. And if not, we can use some sanding, a sanding strip. Okay. Okay. Probably, yeah, we're probably due for a little break right now anyway. So let's take a little break and I'll be right back. BRB. Okay, let's switch back. Here we are. Oh, hold on a sec. Ooh, frozen. What are you guys seeing right now? Cause, oh, you see? Oh, okay. I think it's good now. All right. Oh, let's catch up on the chat. Night Trap, I'm on a 3-game winning streak in Yu-Gi-Oh, and I don't think these people know about the old cards they're playing. Oh, so the OG skills are working? You're like you're like the Alex Valle of Yu-Gi-Oh. You got the old tried and true tricks that the young kids don't know about. Bacon, the stuff I use to clean my glasses kind of works on the phone. Okay, that's good. Plus, I feel like if you handle your phone enough, just like the oils from your hand, and will kind of just make it wear away over time. Bacon says there's no ban cards in Yu-Gi-Oh. It uses the tournament ban list, says Night Trap. Bacon, these kids don't know about the man-eater bug. No new game mechanics from you. Just old school. Okay. So I'm back. I actually found my tools pretty quickly. Here I have some sanding paper. This is a kind of sanding paper where it's like it comes in like a little folder of like a clipped stapled thing where if this runs out of the sanding material, you can just go on to use this, or you can like rip it off, right? And then here's my file. I have this file which I can use. Let me try out this file. Let's try. This part needs to be filed down. And yeah, maybe I should just lift my hand so we don't shake the camera all that much. Get that nice and smooth. We can take a look at this later when these parts need to be attached to something else. We can kind of ensure that it's a better fit, but let's just kind of test it out right now. This is kind of useful to have because it has one side of it is like concave, and so anytime there's like a rounded part that you need to get into, you can kind of get into these parts fairly easy like that. Good for like organic shapes. So yeah, let's just go on for a little more, and then we'll conclude. We didn't really do all too much with this model, but we have been We've been doing just a little bit of everything today, kind of like a variety stream today. We can kind of get more focused later on. Let's try this. So because I intend to paint these models, I don't need to go so far as to return the model to the original like slick plastic surface, because it's going to be spray painted and everything after that, so it's not too big of a deal. And we need to find out which parts are actually going to be seen as well, because there's no point in painting parts of the model that's going to get covered up, right? So that's something that I have to determine when the model's more complete. Okay, but that's good enough for now. Swords of Revealing Light is still a thing, Bacon's asking. Okay, so look at that. We've done 2 steps, guys. 2 steps. Oh yeah, we can glue this lady. We can put her torso to her legs. Let's get this area here. Her buttocks. This is something that I was taking a look at my my Hero Quest figures. I have a full set of Hero Quest, very old game from the 80s, and I was taking a look at the models, and they need a lot of cleanup, a lot of cleanup to make it look really nice, and it's going to take a long time, but I'd like to do that as well. Let's get them really nice looking. Okay, now we can glue her. Night Trap, I have not seen anyone play that card. It's so funny, they're just inexperienced with the old... So is there tier rankings though? Like, are you like rank 1 or like, you know, like beginner ranked or something? So I wonder if that factors into... I think we need more glue. There's something that you can get that like you spray after you super glue something, and then it just sets immediately. That would be very useful. Okay, I think that's good. So there she is. 2 steps done, guys. Step 3, hype. I think we might be able to do like step 3 and 4. And then that might be it for today. I don't know. We'll see. X26. X26. Am I blind? Oh, okay. Here they are. X26. Oh, they need me to cut so many parts. Let's just get X26 and X11 out right now, because those need to be assembled and then attached to some other stuff. So we don't need to get out everything. Let's just get out the first 2 parts that needed to be addressed. 26 and X11. Where be X11? Here we are, X11. Sometimes I find it awkward to get a nice angle on the cut here. There you go, X11. Night Trap, it's an SR and expensive to craft. 3 copies. There is a ranking system, and you expect to start losing once you move to silver. I just built my real world water deck into the game. It needs some upgrades. Night Trap. Yeah, so you still haven't fully built it as of yet? That's kind of fun though. That's really fun. And actually on Twitter, some people that I had no idea that they were into Yu-Gi-Oh! They've been like coming out of the woodworks. They've been revealing their true selves and talking about like, yeah, I built my old deck and it's so cool. I'm like, man, that's awesome. That's so fun. And having like a moderate degree of success. I'll take a moderate degree of success. I mean, when I played Hearthstone, I probably lost more than I won, but it was still fun. I didn't mind losing. I fully accepted that I wasn't like, you know, super hardcore with the game. It's just fun throwing down cards. And earlier, Night Trap was talking about how he didn't even pay attention to what the opponent was doing. He would just do what he wanted to do, and then whatever the opponent does, that's just on them. And that's how I played Gwent. I definitely played Gwent like that. Let's clean up this. Okay. Now let's Night Trap, it's finished. That's the deck you're using right now in ranked. Cool, cool. It is complete. Yu-Gi-Oh! Do you think you'll stream that game at any point in time? Might be kind of fun. Although maybe a little disheartening when you lose. I don't know. You could title your stream Old School Yu-Gi-Oh! Player using only old ass cards. Come face me, bitches. I'm not trying to really go in heavy. I'm just lightly filing these parts. I think I have an even finer grit, which I can go and look for, but we'll start with this for now. OG Yu-Gi-Oh! Pro. OG Yu-Gi-Oh! Pro. Come challenge me. Especially with the hinge parts, I kind of want to make sure that there's no extra plastic so that the motion is proper. That looks fine. And I'm not sure which parts are going to be butting up against something else. So I'm just trying to be careful. And yeah, like I said, it's not as important for me to make it like super fine and super close to the original plastic, because I do intend to paint these parts. So, but I do think it's pretty awesome that you can get to a point where you're filing and sanding down parts that you can get back to like the original shiny surface. Yeah, I feel like I do have something really fine as well, but I have to find it. Okay. So how does this piece go? Night Trap, I won't stream it, but I'll save the replay and put it up on YouTube. Oh, nice. That way, put only the successful runs and not the failures. I like your thinking. Now you're thinking with portals. Alright, so stick this in here. This is just pure pressure. It's going to be a pressure fit. Well, there's like these nubs, but we have to get this plastic through this initial nub bit. There you go. Made a nice little click, so we know it's good. And now we have to do that one more time. X12 and X27. X12 and X27. X12. Okay, there's X12. Ooh, it flew. Okay, good. And 27. Dun, 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 dun. Here we are, 27. Night Trap, the saved replay removes all the card inspection and thinking, so the match is like 8 minutes. Oh, it automatically does that? That's pretty cool. The game automatically removes a lot of the extra time taken by thinking and stuff. It's all just the action. It's a straight card playing action. Straight Yu-Gi-Oh action.
How will the battle shape up? How will you win? Let's get started.
Okay.
Welcome to the world of Street Fighter 4.
And yeah, this is something where I definitely want to take my time. I imagine that this set isn't actually very hard. It's pretty easy to put together. It's only 3 frames. There's no grading in terms of like the difficulty to put this together. I didn't notice one at least, but I'm sure it's fairly easy. The Zaku Aurelius was talking about how it's a fun and interesting kit. It's small, and it's not too hard. But I mean, that guy builds model kits as his job, and I haven't built a model kit in several years. I haven't bought a model kit in several years. So I'm pretty rusty at it. Just want to take my time and do a good job. But actually, that reminds me, I was saying that I haven't built a model kit in years, and I was thinking like 10 years, 15 years or more, right? I haven't built a Japanese plastic model kit. But that's not true. I actually have built a model kit within the last like 3 years or something, like more recent than I had initially thought, at the very least, because I built the Going Merry. Is that what it's called from One Piece? The first ship that the gang had. I think it was called the Going Merry. So instead of a giant robot, it was a giant ship. Although the set itself wasn't actually big in that sense. It was actually, fairly small. But it was kind of fun to put that together. And I should at some point I should take it out of storage and kind of work on it more and maybe paint it, because I think it would look good painted. There's some aspects of the details that I feel like need a bit of customization work to get it looking really nice. But yeah, I totally forgot that I had that. And yeah, for example, the mast, the sails, is that what it's called? Wow, you can tell I know about ships. The big sail, right? It has the skull and cross